Hello, you all. Welcome to this new edition of Lectio Musica, the place for great lyrics, great music, and great meaning. My name is Guylain Prince. I'm a Franciscan friar from Canada, and I love rock music for as long as I can remember, especially hard rock, metal, and prog. Every week, we have this little 2 times around half an hour. We listen to a great song, usually in the studio version and a live version. And after that, a few days after, the Friday or Saturday, there will be the analysis of the same song. And this is the kind of video you are in right now. The analysis of a song from the band Nightwish called Sleeping Sun. Now, let's give you the screen. We are in an historical survey of Nightwish, the symphonic metal band from Finland. Last week we did the 6th song called The Devil in the Deep Dark Ocean, and earlier this week I did a reaction video on 3 versions of the song Sleeping Sun. Here is the analysis. Like I said, don't forget you can subscribe to the channel by pushing Je m'abonne, I subscribe, and if you push the little red bell just beside of it, it will notify you as soon as there's a new video out. Now, this song is the 11th and last song of the album Oceanborn. The lyricist and composer is Tuomas Holopainen, and it is a special song because it is we say in French, chanson de commande, or musique de commande is an expression to say that somebody asked for that song. It does not come from the heart of the artist. Maybe the artist will be interested by the topic. Sometimes he's not at all, but you have to know something. Some of the greatest music ever written was that kind of music because it was asked by someone who benefactor of the musician, or some kind of, we say in French, mécénat, mean that the person, they are literally paying for a new piece of music. And it seems, somebody told me, I don't know, you will tell me if it's true, but it seems that the process was either painful or Tuomas didn't like that very much, but nevertheless, something beautiful came out of it. Let's dig into the song right now. If you haven't listened to the reaction video, please go back and listen to it before looking at this analysis. It begins with a short intro. It is of mainly predominant instrument is the keyboard, and the keyboards in this song are very, I would say, celestial, starry, stylish. It is a kind of sampling that we heard a lot in the 90s. I thought it was a little bit outdated, quite fast, but Tuomas uses it in 2 songs of the last album. I think he uses it in Music and in Shoemaker, if I'm not mistaken. And it's an evocation of the, I think it's the first lines of the chorus. So we are in the sky. We are in probably starry, maybe not starry sky, but we are in the sky. So the occasion was a total solar eclipse in Finland in 2000. Well, in fact, just before the album, so it must be around 2000. So I would suggest that you have always in front of you a beautiful painting. This song is not a story. We know Nightwish for telling stories. This is not a story, or there's very little element of stories. I prefer to talk about it as a painting. There is an event. The sun and the moon, they come together, they join, and suddenly it becomes very dark. But there is light coming from behind the moon, and maybe after, maybe before the junction was full, there were different kind of sometimes colors, sometimes very intense light, depends of the solar eclipse you have. And this is the image you have in mind, the painting. Now let's look at our description, a poetic description of an eclipse. The sun is sleeping quietly. Usually we say about the sun sleeping that it's when the sun sets at the horizon, it goes to sleep. Now it sleeps, but right in the middle of the sky, because he is covered by the moon. Okay, so there he sleeps. He's not alive, or very much alive. Once upon a century, I wonder if it's not evocation of the rarity of a full or total eclipse. It happens very rarely, so I think it's an evocation of that. Wistful ocean, calm and red, ardent caresses laid to rest. Wistful here has something to do, if I remember well, with melancholia, with nostalgia, with memories. So these memories, these oceans, they remember, they are calm, and they are red because there's a little bit of light coming from behind the moon, and we see probably something, a little bit like, it's not like when the sun sets, it's really red, the sea can be really red. Probably here it's simple, the calm of the total eclipse, because it brings calm in nature, it brings calm in people also. We are aware that we're witnessing something exceptional. Ardent caresses. Of course, when the sun is there, all the way up in the sky, the light is ardent, it's warm. Now it's laid to rest. So because the sun is sleeping, okay, so the sun being hidden by the moon, it's like if the sun was sleeping, so he doesn't give his ardent caresses. Now the big question of the song is, who is I? Who speaks by the voice of Daria or Flor? And I wonder, is it, and let's try to find during that song. I will read it the other way. I hold my life for my dreams. So I keep my life so that I can accomplish my dreams. That's so beautiful. I behold my nights for wishes. So I have a reserve of nights for my wishes. I think it's my wishes as it is my dreams. The truth at the end of time, losing faith makes a crime. The truth, I think, what is implied here, will be revealed at the end of time. Losing faith, what is losing faith? It's not religious faith here. It's faith in my dreams, faith in the wishes. So the person is longing for someone, is longing. So I kept my dream. I can't, well, I assume it's for someone, that the dreams and the wishes are about someone, but it's not explicit here. But one thing is, I should not lose faith. I should not lose faith. And by the end of time, it will be revealed what is inside of my heart. That's how I would understand it. But I really wonder, who is I? I wish for this night time. So the total eclipse brings darkness. I wish for this night time to last for a lifetime. The darkness around me shores of a solar sea. Oh, how I wish to go down with the sun, sleeping, weeping with you. Oh, it might be a little bit clearer, if not obvious. It's not obvious who is the I. But I think that the wish and the dreams are for this total eclipse, the junction of the moon and of the sun. I wish for this night time to last for a lifetime. So I hope that this situation, the bonding between the two, could last forever. So there is someone extremely happy of being with the sun here. The darkness around me, shores of a solar sea. The darkness around me, they are like shores of a solar sea. Does that say anything about the lover? I'm not sure it does. And what are how solar sea I can understand is the blue around the sun. The blue around the sun is like a sea. Solar sea would be the sky, as I understand it here. But there it is darkness, so it makes it kind of surrounds me. I wish, again, there you have the wishes of the previous verse. I wish to go down with the sun, sleeping, weeping with you. Now it's not addressed to the sun, but it's addressed to you. Who is that you that we're talking about? And I will suggest to you that I think the I could be two person or two character. One character is clearly linked with the event of the eclipse, and I just wonder if it's not either the moon or the earth with the sun. The moon would make a partner in that. So the moon is connected, is completely, there's a fusion of the two, very rare fusion of the two, so extremely rare. So it could be as if the moon expresses her joy to the sun, to a beloved one who is now sleeping. It could be also the earth, if you don't separate the moon and the sun as only one phenomenon, to be the sleeping sun. This is the sleeping sun. It could be the earth in a way. I think both could be said. Both could be said. But one thing is, I'm pretty sure, is that the total eclipse becomes the occasion to tell a great love story about human beings. I'm quite certain that the total eclipse becomes an image of something happening between two persons. And then we will come back to that at the section of meaning of the song. But let's continue. Sorrow has a human heart. For my God it will depart. I'll sail before 1,000 moons, never finding where to go. Now, this, for me, would be the clearest indication of a person, not a person, of the being the earth. The earth as sailing in the space, and we know that it is an image that Thomas will use in few songs or composition of his in the last album. So I wonder if there's not something here. Sorrow has a human heart. For my God, it will depart. I suggest to you that sorrow here is a person. It's not like only the emotion. It's more like sorrow now is embodied. That's how I would understand. Sorrow is a person, is embodied in a heart. So this song is sung by a person in sorrow. For my God, it will depart. So it will not stay in my God. Here, I think, I don't know what you think, I don't think it's the sorrow that will depart from my God. I think sorrow has a human heart. From my God, it will depart. I think it's the human heart that will depart from my God. For me, I don't know what you think, but if the sun is the center of the devotion of the earth or of the moon, it doesn't matter really, is a center, it becomes like a god. And I know that Christians, for example, we don't like very much that the word adore or God is used in a love relation, because to us it seems like it's too much. It's too much. But we have to admit that in romantic poetry, you will have very often expression that sounds like the divinization of the beloved. I think it would be in. So the human heart will depart from his God, from its God, which brings sorrow. So this is how I would understand it. So the heart is in pain because he will leave the center of his devotion. And where will he go, this human heart? He will sail before 1,000 moons. 1,000. Here, it could be, for me, the earth seeing thousands of moons before seeing the sun sleeping again. But if you put it on the human level, it means that I will go wandering without the beloved close to me, and never finding where to go because I am not with the person I want to be. The place I want to be is with the person. So if I am deprived of that presence, I don't know where to go. I'm a little bit lost. Like somebody, for Christian, will be lost without his God. Here, the object of his devotion, or her devotion, because it's a woman singing, brings a feeling, an impression of being lost. 222 days of light. This is quite interesting. 222 days of light will be desired by a night, a moment for the poet's play, until there's nothing left to say. 222 days of light. I wonder, I'm just saying that, what about people from Finland, Sweden, northern Russia, and Norway? We all know what is the Arctic. We all know the very long days, if not the 24-hour days we have in June. You know that, eh? You know that very long period of light with a long night from... I lived in an area where the night would begin at the end of November, and the first rays of the sun will be somewhere at the end of January, beginning of February. I don't know, but it seems to me that there's a night and many days. So I wonder if it's this pattern that you have in the Arctic, in the north of Finland, that is kind of the background here. When it's true that when you have so much light, you really long for night, because you don't sleep that well. You have to cover the windows a lot so that you can sleep during the day. Let's think about this. And this 200 days of light are desired by the night. The night desires the sun. The night desires the light of the days. How can it be? Because the sun is there? I wonder here. I don't make full understanding of that verse. I'd like to have your input on that. A moment for the poet's play until there's nothing left to say. Here I have a suggestion for you. And tell me, what if Thomas has been asked to write that song 222 days before the total eclipse? How would that be understood? There you have, this night will desire the light of the writing, this moment where the poet will write, as if the total eclipse expects the poem of the poet to be written before, until there's nothing left to say. It will be so the poet will celebrate with his art, with his music, what will happen this very special night. You already know the chorus. We won't go through it. Just to say that there's a small bridge, a beautiful bridge, but very short, where they are on the keyboard variation of the main theme, and the guitar as well, and then the guitar will play what we call a transition leading to the new key, and there's what we call a modulation in French, which is a new tonality, higher tonality, and it brings a level of energy from Tarja and Floor, and it becomes even more emotional, more grandiose, and so the last chorus. And then the big surprise is such a majestic song ends with one chord. To me, it's a very bizarre song. As much as it is beautiful, it's a ballad with a great melody. But this is by far the simplest structure I've ever witnessed from Thomas. This is short intro A, B, we say. So 2 verses, one chorus. A, B, 2 verses, 1 chorus. A bridge, a chorus, and we leave it like that. This is a pop, even in the pop world, this is very simple, extremely simple. It seems to me that Thomas didn't give a lot of thinking apart from the beautiful melody and the words and the lyrics. But there's no refinement other than the beauty of the melody, main melody. So it's, for me, this is, like I say, an ovni. Another song, I said, where does that come from? I have the same impression here, but this time in the construction of the music. Now, the lyrics. It's a succession of beautiful images, expressions, leaving a feeling more than informing us. He does not make a course in astronomy. He does not describe precisely an eclipse, but he evokes something. He evokes. And it's, like I said, more a painting than a story. The sleeping sun, the wistful ocean. There's something hidden that will be revealed at the end of time. And there's the personification of the sun and the moon, the seas, the earth. It's not really essential here. Only that the event of the sleeping sun, which is the eclipse, is celebrated as a great event between 2 lovers. This is the key for me. Now, in terms of meaning, the eclipse is described, it is the basic image. So when you listen to the song, you look at an eclipse. Here, the sun joins the moon, and they are together in the night. Or, like I said, the sun is sleeping, so the phenomenon could be simply understood as the sun sleeps, and there's togetherness of 2 lovers. One is awake, so that's why I suggest it's the earth. One is awake, looking at the sun, sleeping. The sun is present, but in a way is unattainable. He's not sleeping normally, but now he sleeps. The one night he sleeps. In terms of meaning, I would now carry it back on earth as how it is that song hits so hard. It's so beautifully, it echoes so beautiful in our heart. And for me, there is a reason why. After intimacy, that it is described here, sleeping with and weeping, there is a moment of peace where the beloved sleeps, and the other person is there in the night, completely satisfied, peace, in peace, total peace, and maybe total happiness. But the person knows that it is a moment fugace, a moment that will not last. The person is totally happy to be with the sleeping beloved, but at the same time knows that it won't last. And this song talks about exactly that moment. I'm so happy, but I'm so sad at the same time because it will not last. It's a moment, I call it a moment of suspension. I would love so much this night time to last for my lifetime. So there's peace and satisfaction, but melancholy, it won't last. And I think that's exactly how, personally, I know exactly what is described here. And it is something. We just lived a beautiful moment. I like the idea of sleeping with and weeping, to be together as because it's true that deep intimacy is sometimes, of course, love making, but also the fact that we shared a lot and we cried together. And after that, this peace we have, even sometimes in complete silence, with the beloved. That's beautiful. But what if this feeling of completion, of totality, of gratitude is at the same time, you know that it won't last. I would like to stop the time right there, to freeze the time, and to be in that happiness forever. This is what the song talks about. Also, the eclipse, the covered song presented as Sleeping, becomes the occasion to talk about a great love story. So they will not join again for a very long time. It's painful because the sun will always be there in the sky, but they will not meet again that way, or not very often. And the beloved sleeping after intimacy is celebrated in peace, but with a clear conscience that it will not last. This is why there is melancholy. This moment of happiness should be forever. So there's a suspension. And this is it, friend. This is how I understand the song. But maybe you have other hints and ideas. Don't forget to put your comments down below. Next week we will do Kingslayer from the album Wishmaster in 2000. My reaction will be in French but with subtitles. As you know already, all of this on Wednesdays. It will be in Western Europe and 1:30 in Canada and Eastern United States and Brazil, I think. Friday or Saturday, the analysis of the song, like this one, will be in English. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to push the little red button if you want to be notified as soon as a new video comes out. For now, I hope you liked it. I loved the song, and it will be in my life. This song will be in my life for a long, long time. I already presented it to introduce 3 or 4 persons to that beautiful song. It was great. So for this week, see you next week. Bye bye.